And why aren't you in uniform?
Good morning. So we are out on this 10-kilometer run. I can either take today quite easy, or I can push myself and have myself a little bit of a race. I'm not sure if I'm feeling the race. I think I'm just gonna take it somewhat easy. I don't know, we'll see. So I've just made myself some breakfast. I've got like scrambled eggs with bacon, asparagus, and onion. The bacon, asparagus and onion I had actually last night with some gnocchi. So I just like had some leftovers, threw that in with some eggs with a bit of milk, and then 2 slices of toast with a lot of butter. Yeah, the 10-kilometer run that I just did, it was okay. It's done. Run felt very heavy from the get-go. My foot's still really sore on the outside. I might have to go back to the foot doctor because it's really painful. I think today I'm gonna have a very chill day. I've got a lot of admin things to do. I just feel like my body is so tired that I just need to recoup with my life. Also, so many things happened on my run. I mean, like, it wasn't like a continuous run at all. I was running and then I remember at one point I looked to my left and an old lady had fell over in this puddle. So I went over to help her get up because she had a dog and everything like that. So then I ended up speaking to her for a little while, making sure she was okay. Then I continued running and then I bumped into my boyfriend's parents, chatted to them for like a couple of minutes, and then I went on my way. But then I needed to pee and then I needed to pee again. So I peed twice, and then yeah, it was just very much, and then I stopped and walked a couple of times. It was very on and off 10-kilometer run, but yeah, I still did it. There was a point where I was like, I kind of might stop early just because I was like quite tired, and I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. I was really like, I cannot be bothered to do this run, but I powered through and I did it. Anyway, I'm gonna watch something and have my breakfast, so yeah. Honestly, this is like my favourite. I'm not going to say it's the best facial cleanser, but it's my favourite facial cleanser. Just because, I mean, this isn't empty. It's my second bottle and I love it. It's not too expensive. It's really nice for sensitive skin. And I just use this morning and night to basically wash away any dirt. I realised that it's actually better to have more of a simple skincare routine than a complicated one. I always kind of don't understand when people have so many skincare products because I can't use them all on time. Like, they all have a time limit. They go out of date and I struggle, like, and I use my daily product, like, especially for example, like my retinol that I have from Drunk Elephant that I've had for nearly a year, and I use it consistently, but there's still so much left. Like, I'm probably not going to use all of that on time before it expires. So I always am like, how do people have so many skincare products? Like, how do you use it all without having like an absolute ton of waste? Oh, I don't understand. But yeah, no, my skincare routine is so simple. I literally use these reusable like cleansing wipes, like pads, and then use a moisturizer, La Roche-Posay, however you is pronouncing the name of this, La Roche-Posay. But yeah, this one I use all the time. And other than that, I used to use this retinol like once every 2 days, every 3 days, depends. Mix in with my moisturizer, so literally I have like a 2/3 step skincare routine. I don't use anything fancy to take off my eye makeup. I literally just have like this from local food store from Mercadona. It's like €2. Works a charm. But my makeup routine is also very, very chill. I don't use a lot of products. Again, I just use what I have. I use it up. I find a product I like, I stick with it. The only thing I need to find at the minute is a really good setting powder. That's something I actually don't have. I don't really use any powder on my skin. I watched a TikTok recently where, what was it? I think it's like the talc that is in powder, that it's actually really bad for you. And I don't want to say like, oh, it's cancer causing or anything, because I feel like there's so much like media that's like, this is cancer causing, this is cancer causing. I mean, I feel like there's so many things that are cancer causing or just illness causing in general. So yeah, I want to find a good one. I also sometimes feel like when I use powder, because it's so sometimes reflective or makes me look super pale. Like I remember like in photos where my body would be like so much more tan than the rest of my body, and then like with flash, and then it's been my pale face reflecting the light, which was never a good look. Basically, I'm using Erborian. This I don't really know if it works too much, but I bought it, so I'm kind of obviously using it. It's the Pink Primer and Care. Multi-perfecting Primer and Care. Smoothed skin, blurred pores, and enhanced radiance. Who doesn't want that? And I also use the Erborian, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Erborian Super BB Anti-Imperfection Cream thing. This I really like. I think it gives really nice coverage because I really don't like anything that's too heavy on my skin. I like to kind of have a very like natural look. Like unless it's going to be dark, when you can't really tell imperfections, I don't like to have too much makeup. Especially as I'm getting older, like I don't really have many wrinkles. When I put on foundation, it seems to be like they find the wrinkles that are there. So I don't really like wearing too much makeup during the day. I like to kind of keep it quite simple. And honestly, I don't really wear that much makeup that often, which would have shocked younger me. Like I remember even in like year 8, I was actually against the rules to wear makeup at school. I would find any way to put on makeup that was like in a subtle way that no one could tell. Like in year 8, I think that's when I'm like 12, 13. So yeah, and I could never leave the house without like winged eyeliner for a period of time. So I just find it very nice now that I'm actually confident and happy enough in my own skin that I can actually leave the house and be quite happy wearing no makeup, like literally just wearing SPF. It feels very freeing. So after this, I'm actually not really going anywhere. I'm just kind of getting ready just so I can feel a little bit nicer on video and just feel a little bit more put together. That's the one thing about wearing makeup, is sometimes without it, I feel like I'm not fully ready. Where when I put on makeup, I feel like more like, okay, like I've got my life together. I can do what I need to do, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually, after I've done my makeup, sit down and do my Spanish homework, because I started these new Spanish classes and I've been to 3 of the classes so far. They're actually with like the local council, like local town hall, which I find really cool that they do here in Spain. I don't know if they do it in the whole of Spain, but they do it here in Andalusia, where each town has like a town hall and they put on like activities for which you can sign up for. I mean, there's only limited spaces and you have to pay, or some of, like, depending on the town, some towns you don't have to pay, some towns you do. And for me, I got Spanish lessons, which are 2 times a week, so a total of 3 hours a week for 5 months for 74 euros, which is insane. Like, it's so good. They're group classes, which I don't mind. I'm actually in a higher class than I think I should be, but that was just because it was the only time that worked for me. So I'm a little bit in the deep end, which is kind of a good thing, because I'd rather be the worst in the class than the best, because then I actually feel like I'm learning. So I'm definitely being pushed to do my homework, because I think when I was doing one-on-one classes, I'd be less motivated to do the homework, where when you're in a group class, you're like, I have no option, because they're gonna pick on me at some point. I don't want to be the only one in the class not knowing what on earth is going on. I also really am at that point now where I've tried so many different teachers, so many different methods of learning Spanish, that I need to like focus and get this done, because as much as my Spanish has improved whilst living here in Spain, it definitely hasn't advanced the level that I would have liked to have advanced to. But I think that comes down to not prioritizing it simply, and just not putting in the time at all. My priorities have been elsewhere over the last 4 years, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking like, oh my god, but when you live in the country, like surely you would learn the language. Like, trust me, so many people that live here don't know Spanish or know limited Spanish. I think it's because there's such a community of like English speakers, English people, etc. You don't always need to speak Spanish. You can speak very basic Spanish and get on quite happily here, and you can, like, I could continue to live a pretty good life here not knowing Spanish. But I think whenever you live in a country where it is a different language to your mother tongue and you don't know it, you miss out on so much that that country has to offer, or that city or whatever. For me, I'm at that point now where I really want to learn Spanish just to enhance my time here. I understand a lot, but it's just my sentence structure is horrendous and just errors left, right and centre. So I think it just means spending time and making time for it, because I'm so bad at prioritising stuff. I'm so bad at procrastinating. Like, even before, I was like watching YouTube and then I was just like thinking to myself, okay, I need to get up and go do stuff, but I was just not moving. I was just procrastinating, and then I get then overwhelmed. So I'm like, oh my god, I've not done anything today, and I didn't do what I wanted to do, and then I get overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my god, I have to do that now later. Then I also have work, and I also have this. So yeah, it's one thing that I'm trying to work on at the minute is actually just to stop procrastinating so much, because I waste so much time, and I feel like I could achieve so much more if I just stopped procrastinating. So yeah, I sometimes put a bit of like gel on my eyebrows just to keep them in place, because I feel like they're very unruly, which I actually was looking at getting them waxed this week, because I've not had my eyebrows touched in years. Like, I think I've plucked them occasionally myself. Other than that, they're just rocking the unruliness. They are, and I have like this little tuft thing. I don't know, they are an absolute mess at the minute. I prefer this eyebrow actually to this eyebrow. I don't know why. I think it's because it's like, it doesn't have so much of an arch. I want more of an arch, you know? I keep looking at people's eyebrows and I'm like, they're so groomed and they look so nice. So I want to treat myself and get my eyebrows done. Anyway, I'm gonna go study some Spanish and we'll catch up in a bit. So I've just finished like 2 hours of studying Spanish. I completed my home oral. I actually still have to do my homework for Wednesday, but I think I might do that tomorrow just because my brain feels a little bit fried. And there's quite a few other things that I want to tick off my list today. So yeah, and it's currently 3:35. Where does the time go? I hate how fast time goes. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm gonna make myself some lunch. It's a little bit late for lunch, but I feel like I had quite a late breakfast. So I'm gonna make a little something and also some ginger shots. So yeah, let's go. I bought this Stanley when it first came out in Europe because I saw them all over the top in America and I was like, that's ridiculously sized. But then I saw them get released here in Europe and I was like, oh my god, I need it. I need this in my life. And I bought one and my boyfriend mocked me at the time being like, why do you have such a huge cup, basically? Why do you need it? And I was like, trust me, it's a game changer. And now he's obsessed with it. He's like he's been taking it and using it, and I'm like, I told you. I drink so much more water when I use my Stanley cup just because it's 1.2 litres. It keeps it cold for so long. I mean, this is not an ad, I'm just saying, like, love it. And this isn't just my emotional support water bottle, it is also a weapon. I saw this on TikTok and this girl, I can't remember her name, but she makes me laugh, like I love her content, and she made a joke about it and I was like, that is actually so true. This thing, when it's full, is actually quite heavy. So if someone came along with it, I was like, bah, bah. Self-defense right here and hydration. Hello, it is the evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna make some protein pancakes because I really cannot be bothered to cook anything too complicated. I'm quite hungry though, so I'm gonna make a meaty protein pancakes. I have loved protein pancakes for so many years. They're just such an easy thing. I mean, they're not as tasty, of course, as like regular pancakes, I'm not gonna lie. And you have to find the proper technique because I've got the My Protein ones right now, but I used to use the bulk. They changed their recipe. I actually really like the new recipe, but then the protein contents went lower. But then they had a discount on My Protein, so I went for My Protein ones and it's like the old consistency of bulk, but now I really prefer bulk's new consistency because they just seem a bit more like fluffy. With these ones, it's a bit harder to get them fluffy. I don't know, maybe I haven't perfected this recipe yet, but yeah, no, they're just my favourite thing because sometimes I really can't be bothered to cook dinner, and at the end of the day, I can definitely top up my protein intake. This has got 34 grams of protein, which I'll then top with a yogurt and some berries and stuff. So it'll be delicious and nice. So I need to do 2 cheeky scoops. So it's time to get ready for bed. It's 11 o'clock, so it's time to take off my makeup and get into bed. Oh my god, I'm so excited to sleep. I hope you enjoyed spending a very relaxed, not eventful Sunday with me. Honestly, it's been lovely. I feel like it was needed. I needed to just not do a lot and not really leave the house much. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. I'll speak to you guys later. See you on the flip side. Have a good week or day or whatever. But yeah, speak to you soon. Ciao, 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 ciao.